Divorce and the effect on children. Do you think there's such thing as a good age for children for their parents to divorce? My stepbrother's dad left when they were 2 and 6. The 2-year-old seems to have been affected much more and is still tormented by it even now he's in his 20s. By contrast, the 6-year-old has much greater self-esteem now he's an adult. Are there good and bad ages to separate? Sadly, I don't think there's ever a good age. My husband's parents divorced when he was 21, and although he now seems a very level-headed and logical chap under it all, he has a deep insecurity about family relationships as a direct result of his parents' split. The closeness and unity of our own little family unit is desperately important to him, and he doesn't cope at all well with even a hint of marital strife, something I've had to work hard to learn how to handle, because my temper is somewhat volatile. In my experience, the age of a child, when their parents separate, is far less important than the way in which the matter is dealt with. The important thing is to minimize the sense of loss, and to work hard towards achieving a situation which, though changed, still allows a child, to enjoy a meaningful relationship with both parents. Not quite the same situation, but my father died when I was 5 and I don't remember any bad feelings from that period as my mum was fantastic. How did she do it? And myself and my sisters got a lot of love and attention from other members of the family. In contrast, mum remarried soon afterwards but later divorced my new father when I was 25. I found this much worse. I was really upset. But, of course, at that age you're expected to deal with it on your own. Nearly 10 years later I'm still incredibly angry at my father because after the divorce he completely dropped all contact with me and my sisters and we don't even get a Christmas card. It's like he divorced the whole family. My separation happened when our child was just 3 months old. At the moment I'm of the view that what our child didn't know won't hurt him, his father never having really bonded with him anyway. Having read around this thing, the, admittedly generalized, view seems to be that until a child is 2 or so, the effects are less than in older children. I wouldn't say there's any age that's better. I've heard of adults being traumatized by their parents' recent split, but I have heard that the symptoms that kids display in the short term are different. Apparently, younger children are more likely to act out, bedwetting, tantrums etc., while teenagers are more likely to be withdrawn and go into themselves. Not sure if this is the case, but it's what I've heard. I think that possibly the most important thing to remember with divorce and children is to ensure that the children maintain a link with both parents and, if possible, build a healthy relationship. My mother left my father when I was 25. She thought that because my brother and I were adults we wouldn't be affected, or at least minimally. A divorce in a family is always hard, however old, because your foundations disappear and everything you believe in seems like it was a lie. It took me several years to get over it, and to this day I am still upset at why and how it happened. As an adult, what bothered me was that no one thought it mattered to me. I kept hearing, "How's your mum or dad doing?" Not "How am I coping?" Also, my parents are not on speaking terms, and that's hell for a child because you are caught in the middle. If you must divorce, then please make sure your kids are seeing the best side of both of you, from both of you, not the fighting and backstabbing. And believe me, these are visible and very hurtful. My parents got divorced, but them splitting up didn't upset me. It was the fact that they had to go to court that was frightening to me. Like they were criminals just because they didn't get on anymore. That was scary to a child. The legal process was worse than their relationship not working anymore. Having parents who were so obsessed with their bad relationship but would not split up because of the children ruined my childhood. Eventually they split up when I was 28, by which time I had resigned myself to the fact that they'd spend their lives together hating each other. As it happens, their split has been more difficult for me than I'd anticipated because, as others have mentioned here, if parents are at war, whatever your age, as a child you are stuck in the middle. My relationship with my daughter's father broke down partly because I took stock and decided that she would not be subjected to a lifetime of being neglected by default. People wrapped up in their own misery cannot possibly give children all the attention they need and deserve. It is never pleasant. There is never a right age, but sometimes it is absolutely necessary. I can't believe the news. That US study finding that divorce doesn't badly affect the majority of children. What a ridiculous statement to make. It wasn't exactly a huge study anyway, hardly big enough to draw that kind of conclusion. How do you measure the emotional damage or turmoil of a young child anyway? Yes, I am a child of divorced parents, and mine did not handle it well. It was a bitter thing from then and still to now. Maybe people are dealing with it better these days. I hope so. What does everyone else think about this finding? My parents divorced a few years ago. I was in my mid-20s, and because they made a very bad job of it, the divorce, I have very negative feelings about the whole thing, and was miserable for a while. Not that anyone ever asked me how I felt about it. I guess as I was an adult, people assumed I was coping well, and my parents kept confiding in me how horrible the other one was, etc. I guess they also felt I could cope with it. All I would say is that it's vital for parents to not involve the kids, even older one, in the argument. My partner's parents split when he was 6. I think it was the courtroom battles that did the most damage. It was a very angry situation. The parents waged a war on each other using both of their sons as weapons. As a result, my partner does not even deal with his dad, who is a very manipulative man, and a lot of damage was done. I believe a healthy split is so much better than an unhealthy relationship, so probably the best age for divorce is as soon as it will put the children and the parents in a much healthier environment. Now, I just need to get the guts and the strength to put that in place and hope he will follow suit. I think that there is never a good age for parents to divorce. I was in the middle of a war zone throughout my childhood and it was a nightmare. I remember frequently telling my mother to leave my father. Eventually they divorced and I was 28. It was surprisingly a shock. Staying together for the children is ridiculous in my opinion. Children are not stupid. Divorce is not easy, but happy parents apart has to be better for children than miserable parents together. If you have a similar situation, we recommend you to contact a specialist. Take care of yourself and your loved ones. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.